Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the early slate, the MLB early slate on DraftKings for Saturday, June the 22nd. We do have a 7-game early slate starting at 4 o'clock. After this video, I will be making a video for the night slate. I believe there's 5 games at night, Saturday night. I'll be covering that slate for DraftKings and Yahoo. I do want to let you guys know that after Monday, I will not be making any videos for the rest of the week. I will be going on vacation, so Monday, I think it's the 24th is when we leave. The 24th through like the 30th, I will not be making any videos. I'm going to have videos out for Saturday. I'm going to have videos out for Monday, the 24th. I will have a video out for Monday's slate. But after that, I won't have any videos out until the next Monday, which I believe is July 1st. So just a couple more videos coming out these next couple days before I go on vacation, before I'm gone for 6-7 days. I will be reminding you guys just till I leave, I'll remind you in Monday's video, I'll remind you in Saturday night's video, and I'll be sure to post something on Twitter as well for maybe the people that don't get to catch the video and are not aware. But we're going to start off covering this early slate for Saturday, 7 games. We'll talk about pitching, work our way through the pitcher-player pool. I'll be sure to hit on all the guys that I like today. We'll look at some stacks that I'll be going to, and then towards the end of the video, we'll cover some BVP plays as well. Just before we do get started, guys, would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. So pitching on this early slate's pretty tough. There's no clear standout option in my opinion. You have Luis Castillo as the most expensive option. He's $11,100. He's in a really tough spot, having to face the Brewers in Miller Park. I don't think Castillo is a guy that we have to pay up for today. I think the same can be said for Yonny Chirinos, $10,300 facing Oakland. I would say Chirinos is in a much more favorable matchup compared to Castillo. He's going to be facing a lot of righties from Oakland. Right now, the projected lineup only has 3 lefties in it. Chirinos did pitch against Oakland a couple starts ago and did pretty well. 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. I know he's pitching really well, and I think he gave up like a home run or 2, but 18 DraftKings points the last time he played Oakland. The last few starts, he's been working as a starter. They haven't been using an opener when Chirinos pitched, so we've seen him pitch deeper into games, 90 pitches in 2 of his last 4 starts, 100 pitches in the other 2 starts. Chirinos, I guess, would be the guy I would pay up for, but I don't think you need to go to him either. I think we can go to this mid-range today and definitely pay up for bats because there's a lot of good stacks I like. It looks like Nick Kingham might be starting for the Blue Jays versus the Red Sox, and if Nick Kingham's starting against the Red Sox, then the Red Sox are a team that I'm gonna want to load up on today. They're pretty expensive, but without paying up for the expensive pitching, you can't fit them in. So looking at this mid-range, I think there's a couple guys that stand out. Vince Velasquez has been pretty terrible this year. Even when he was a starter, he was not that great. Even in coming through the bullpen, like in relief, he hasn't really been that good. But he's starting today. He gets the Marlins at home. He's at least in consideration for me. I believe he did pitch against the Marlins earlier this year. He did make a start against them, went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 4 Ks, 16 DraftKings points. Not the best performance out of Velasquez, but I don't feel like there's any must-have pitchers today. So he's a guy that stands out. Chris Archer, I also really like at home here against the Padres. Chris Archer is going to be a pitcher that I load up on today just because I think he has a lot of upside still for this price tag. I know Archer's been pretty bad this year, but lately he hasn't been as bad, especially like his last couple starts. Against the Marlins, I played him quite a bit in that start. He was pitching really well through like 5 innings. He was pitching a shutout through 5 innings, had like 6 Ks. And then he gave up like a 3-run home run to Harold Ramirez, and then it kind of all went downhill from there. He was doing really well in that start, then the home run killed him. 13 DraftKings points in that start against the Marlins. Against the Brewers, though, he was really good. 7 innings, only 5 hits, gave up 4 runs, but got 7 Ks. Against the Braves, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 6 Ks. Archer's still a guy that has a lot of strikeout upside. He's going to be facing a very right-handed heavy Padres lineup. It's a very good pitcher's park. I think both pitchers in this game make a lot of sense. I didn't mention Chris Paddock, but I do like Chris Paddock quite a bit as well today. I think I would rather play Chirinos over Paddock for just $500 more, but Paddock definitely in play at $9,800. But Chris Archer, the guy that I really like, $8,400. He's going to be the pitcher that I feel like is going to be on the most of my rosters today on this early slate. And then looking for an SP2, a couple guys I want to hit on. So Tommy Milone at home against the Orioles, $7,900. Not a price tag I want to pay for Tommy Milone, but it's a shorter slate, 6-7 games I think is what we got. Not a lot of great pitching options. Milone gets to face the Orioles, and he's in a pretty good favorable pitcher's ballpark. And Malone's actually been pretty good this year, especially as of late. He's been pitching a lot better. So I wouldn't mind going to Malone at 7,900. Aaron Savale, I don't know if this is how you say his name, Savale, Clavale, whatever. He's going to be called up from AAA to pitch against the Tigers. I think he actually makes a lot of sense as a cheap option at SP2, 6,700. I was looking at his AAA numbers. I think he's made a couple starts in AAA. He did have like a 30% K rate. It was a limited sample size, just like 10 or 11 innings pitched. But a 30% K rate. Now he's going to be facing a very strikeout-heavy Tigers team that's going to roll out a lot of righties. So I actually like Aaron Savale quite a bit as a cheap SP2 at 6,700. If you don't feel safe going to him, there's other guys you can play. You can get up to Malone. If you want to play Eliezer Hernandez at 6,500, I wouldn't mind going there. If you want to play Chassin as a value, Chassin's dirt cheap at 5,600 against the Reds. I think he could be in play. I'm going to be interested to see what the Tigers' total is. If they have a low total, Savale's definitely going to be even more interesting. If the Tigers come out with like a 5 total, maybe I'll back off Savale a little bit, but still a guy that I like at home against the Tigers. Very favorable matchup. And he did throw like 75, 80 pitches in his last AAA start, so he's fully stretched out. He should be able to go as deep as he can as long as he's pitching well. They'll let him go 70, 80 pitches, 5, 6 innings. So I like Savale as a cheap SP2 at 6,700. You go with Archer and him as your 2 pitchers. You've got plenty of salary to pay up for bats, 43.62 remaining per hitter. So we'll start off in the outfield. I did mention the Red Sox. If Nick Kingdom's going to be starting, which there's a possibility he is, I'm going to be loading up on the Red Sox. Nick Kingdom's been terrible this year. Love Mookie Betts at 5,300. I think he's one of the top outfielders and just one of the top overall hitters on the slate. So Mookie just has a ton of upside. He has power, speed, just a great hitter. It's Mookie Betts. I shouldn't need to tell you to play Mookie Betts. He's a great hitter pretty much every slate, no matter who he's going up against. And if it is Kingdom pitching, we'll just look at some of his game logs throughout the year. He's made a couple starts, I believe, or I think he's made 1 start, and then rest have been through the bullpen. When he was with the Pirates, he was terrible. Now that he's with the Blue Jays, he's been pretty bad as well. Like 4 innings against the D-backs, 7 runs, -7 DK points against the Pirates. I'm not sure, or that's not the right start, but against the D-backs, he got blown up. I'm not sure if he pitched against the Pirates or not, if that's just like an error, but against Cincinnati, not great, 3 runs, 7 hits. Kingdom's just not that good of a pitcher. He's not really been getting strikeouts either. Been giving up a lot of walks, been giving up home runs as well. The Red Sox are going to be a top stack regardless. Really, no matter who's pitching for the Blue Jays, I imagine the Red Sox are going to be a top stack for me. And I love Mookie Betts at 5,300. Then on the other side of that game, I do want to target some Blue Jays bats versus Brian Johnson. I don't really think Brian Johnson is that good. He gives up a lot of home runs to righties and just really struggles overall to righties in general. And you have a lot of cheap right-handed hitters from this Blue Jays team. Not that we really need value because we spent down at pitcher, but Vlad Jr. at 3,800, Randall Grichuk at 3,800 are 2 of my favorite values today. Grichuk in the outfield and then Vlad at third base. Both are dirt cheap. Both have a lot of power versus lefties. Facing a pitcher in Brian Johnson who, like I said, will give up a ton of home runs to righties, gives up a lot of power to righties. Very favorable hitters park in Fenway. Love going to some of these Blue Jays bats, specifically the right-handed hitters. If you can pay up for Gurriel, I think he's a way you can get contrarian because he's the same price as Mookie Betts. He's more expensive than JD Martinez. Not many people are going to go to Gurriel, but Gurriel has a ton of power. Teoscar Hernandez has a lot of power versus lefties. That 4-man stack of Vlad, Gurriel, Grichuk, and Hernandez, that 4-man stack I really like today. I expect to be picking on Brian Johnson quite a bit. Because pitching is so weak on the slate, Brian Johnson's probably going to get some ownership because he's facing the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays aren't that good as a team overall. But I don't think Brian Johnson is that good of a pitcher either. So I'm going to be looking to roster some Blue Jays, and Vlad and Grichuk are 2 of the guys that I really like. But I think that's it for my 5 plays for this early slate. Let's talk about some stacks now real quick, then we'll look at some BVP. So my favorite stack is definitely going to be the Red Sox here. Whether it's Nick Kingdom or whoever, I just love the Red Sox. They're just by far the team on the slate that has the most upside in general. So I'm going to be loading up on Red Sox bats. Do like the righties a lot. That 2 through 5 stack from the Blue Jays, that's going to be something I use quite a bit today, especially with some of the pricing with Guerrero and Grichuk at 3,800, Teoscar at 4,100. You can definitely look there. Some of the other stacks we can maybe consider. Wouldn't mind using some Indians bats versus Spencer Turnbull, like Lindor, Santana. Kipnis and Ramirez are both dirt cheap. Jake Bauers is dirt cheap. Spencer Turnbull has struggled with lefties this year, so the lefties, the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, I actually like quite a bit from the Indians. And then this Mariners game, I wouldn't mind going to some Mariners bats versus Cashner, specifically the guys that have power, so Daniel Vogelbach, Domingo Santana, maybe some Omar Narvaez, the 3, 4, 5 from the Mariners, I like quite a bit, but I expect a lot of my stack ownership on this early slate is going to go to the Red Sox. They're going to be the team I load up on the most. But now let's look at some BVP real quickly. There's just a couple BVP plays. I'll hit them and then we'll end the video. So Brian Anderson gone 2 for 11 with a home run off Vince Velasquez. Yasiel Puig 10 for 27 with a home run off Julio Chassin. Joey Votto 7 for 22 with 2 home runs off Chassin. Orlando Arcia 7 for 15 off Luis Castillo. Kyle Seager 7 for 25 with 2 home runs off Andrew Cashner. And I think that's all the BVP plays for the early slate. So I think that is it for the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video and hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed, make sure you click that like button down below and make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Like I said at the beginning, Monday the 24th, I will be leaving, going on vacation. I will not be making videos that whole week, so just wanted to give you guys a quick update with that. No, you're not going to see any videos from me next week. We'll have one for Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, no videos that whole week. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. If you have questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or leave any down in the comment section below. Good luck on this early slate. Peace.